Welcome back, everyone. Today we are doing a deep dive into something kind of different.
Yeah, a little bit of a different angle for us.
So we're exploring a question
Mm-hmm.
that you might not have thought of before.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, what are some things that a Christian might specifically choose to not have in their home,
Interesting.
right? And we're getting all of this from a YouTube video from Kingdom Seekers.
Oh, yeah, I've seen some of their
It's
stuff.
called Four Things a Christian Should Not Have in Their Home.
Oh, okay.
But,
Interesting.
yeah,
I like it already.
it's a good one.
Yeah.
I think you'll find their perspective pretty fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really unique angle, right? Like, instead of what you should bring into a home, we're looking at what you should leave out.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it really speaks to the idea that our surroundings can really influence us.
Yeah, I think so too.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
Our thoughts and actions and all of that.
Yeah, absolutely. So the video lays out four categories of things to avoid.
Okay.
First up, idols and false gods. And they're really strict about this one. It's no other gods, period.
Wow.
Not even a little statue tucked away on a shelf.
Interesting. So, like, no Buddha statues or anything like that?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So, and this one I thought was really interesting because, it goes back to, one of the main tenets of Christianity is believing in only one God.
Right, and it makes a lot of sense from that perspective, yeah.
Yeah, it's like imagine if you're, completely devoted to one person, but then you have, photos of all your exes all over the house.
Ooh, yeah.
Not a good look.
Not really showing that commitment.
Yeah, you're not going to score any points with that,
Right, exactly.
especially with,
Yeah.
the big guy upstairs,
Yeah.
if that's who you're devoted to.
Yeah, it's not a good look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, it makes you think twice about all those little knickknacks we collect
It really does, yeah.
without even really thinking about them.
Absolutely. I'm looking around my desk right now. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh boy, some of this stuff has got to go.
All right, so next up we have occult objects.
Ooh, okay.
This is where things get a little mysterious.
All right, I'm intrigued.
So the video specifically mentions things connected to witchcraft and sorcery.
Okay, so like Ouija boards and
Yeah, and tarot cards and
crystals and all that stuff.
yeah. Yeah, and for more context, they reference Deuteronomy 18.0512,
Okay.
which in the Old Testament, lays out a whole list of practices that were forbidden for the Israelites.
Right, right. Yeah, I've heard of that.
So, it's interesting to see how some of those, really ancient concerns are still relevant to some people today.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's always so fascinating how these things kind of they stick around. Yeah, they stick around and they evolve
Yeah.
and different people interpret them in different ways and
For sure.
it's really interesting.
Okay, so moving on to number 3, negative media.
All right.
Now, I get the obvious things like violence and explicit content,
Sure.
but the video goes beyond that.
Oh.
They talk about any media that fails to meet the standard of pure and lovely.
Pure and lovely.
It seems pretty subjective.
Yeah, I was going to say
What?
it's pretty open to interpretation, isn't it?
Yeah, so it really begs the question, who gets to define, what is pure and what is lovely?
That's right. Yeah, where do you even draw the line?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And to kind of back up this idea, they connect it to Philippians 4.8,
Okay.
where, the Apostle Paul encourages people to focus on things that are, true and noble and right and pure and lovely and admirable.
Yeah, it's like a whole laundry list
It
of
is.
all the good stuff.
So it seems like it's not just about avoiding bad things,
Right, right.
but actively seeking out things that uplift you and inspire you.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Okay, finally, we have excessive materialism.
Ooh, yeah, that's a big one.
And this one just seems particularly relevant in our consumer-driven world.
Oh, tell me about it. It's like everywhere you look, it's like buy this and buy that, and you need this and you need that.
Yeah, how many ads do we see every day?
Way too many. It's hard to even keep track.
Right.
And it's hard to know,
Right.
where to draw the line, right? Between like enjoying the things that you have and like
Right.
taking it too far.
Yeah. How do you determine what's excessive?
That's the question.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, and this video really argues that true fulfillment comes not from, accumulating possessions, but from a much deeper connection with God and with other people.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah. And they point to, different stories in the Bible, like the parable of the rich young man
Oh, yeah.
who couldn't let go of his wealth to follow Jesus.
Yeah.
To illustrate, how dangerous it can be to put material things above your spiritual values.
That's a good point. It's a powerful reminder that sometimes our attachments to material things
Mm,
can really hold us back.
absolutely.
So we've explored these 4 categories. Um, but I think it's important to remember that we're, just presenting the perspective from this video.
Right, we're just kind of laying out the ideas here.
Exactly. We're
Here.
not trying to tell anyone, what to think.
Yeah, this isn't like a how-to guide or anything. We just want people to be aware of these different ideas.
Right. We're just hoping to kind of start a conversation
Yeah,
about how, our beliefs and values can really shape the choices that we make in our lives.
absolutely. And that includes the things we surround ourselves with.
Right, for
Yeah.
sure. And maybe that's the real takeaway here.
I think so.
It's not just about what a Christian shouldn't have in their home,
Mm-hmm.
but what anyone might choose to remove from their environment
Right.
or add to it,
Yeah, what do you want in your life?
right? To live, a more authentic and meaningful life.
That's it. Yeah.
So what does your home say about you?
Ooh,
That's something for you to ponder.
I like that.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Always a pleasure.